All right, Scar Nation community, we back with another one, baby. Like I said, I love doing these long form content format videos. So today I'm gonna be talking about how bad did my addiction get? You know, there's levels to addiction. Some people's addictions get worse than others. So today I just want to talk about how bad mine got. Some of the things I went through in my addiction. So when I first started messing around with fentanyl, you know, a lot of y'all know it started as a weekend thing, right? I would do a pill, 2, 3, 4, whatever on the weekend of the little blue 30s. That was what I did the most. Like I did the powder too, don't get me wrong, but I just did more of the counterfeit pills. That's just what I had more access to, I guess, you know. That's just what I could find more than anything else. So that's what I got more than anything else. So started out as doing 2, 3, 4 on a weekend, and that went on for probably about a year. And then my addiction, when it flew out of control, it escalated very, very fast. So I went from doing 2, 3 in a weekend to 2, 3 a day. And you know that happened pretty damn quick. So when I went to 2 or 3 a day, you know, if you know anything about opioid addiction, it just escalates and you build a tolerance, and it just gets worse, worse, and worse. That's what happened. That 3 turned into 5. That 5 turned into 8. That 8 turned into 13. You know, $50 turned into $100 a day. $100 turned into 150. 150 turned into 2, and et cetera, et cetera. So at the worst of my addiction, I was probably spending about $200-$300 a day, doing about 30 to 40 of them blue pressed pills, the counterfeit pills a day. And there's things I remember at that moment, that you know, that 6-month period when it was at its peak, when my addiction was at its peak. There's things that I remember, and one of those things that I remember today was always waking up in cold sweats. See, I got a high metabolism, and the thing about fentanyl is it's a very intense high, but it's fast, like it wears off quick. And I remember as my tolerance grew, the shorter and shorter it would last, meaning I would start going into withdrawal faster and faster. Like when I first started, it might take me 24 hours to start going into withdrawal. And as my tolerance grew and it progressed, it would take me 16 hours and then 12 hours. And then at my worst, I would start going into withdrawal 3, 4 hours after my last dose. So I could never sleep a full night without going into withdrawal. So it got to the point where I would wake up in cold sweats every single morning, like very early in the morning too. Like I might go to sleep at 12 a.m., you know, midnight. I'd wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning just drenched in sweat. Like I'm talking the bed soaked in just cold sweats because I'm in withdrawal. I'm in full-blown withdrawal by the time I wake up. And that would be when I would reach for my dope and, you know, get right. That would be my fix. I would always have something ready for myself in the morning because I knew that in the morning I'm gonna need something to get out of bed, and that's just how that was. You know, it's a never-ending cycle. Every day I would leave just enough to get myself right in the morning so I could get up and hustle up my next fix. You know, and that's how that went. You know, for a while it went like that. You know, couldn't hold jobs, whatever. Another thing I remember, this is crazy, but running through fucking lighters. If I had $1 for every lighter I ran through in my active addiction, I'd be rich. I could never keep a lighter. I could have 7 lighters one day. The next day they'd be gone or used up. I would just use them up quick because you got to think. Every 5 to 10 minutes, I'm striking my lighter to smoke my shit off of aluminum foil because I would smoke mine. That was my method that I did. And I would run through lighters like fast as fuck. So I could never keep a lighter. I was always looking for a lighter. There'd be times I'd be going into withdrawal and I didn't have a fucking lighter. I'm going outside to ask neighbors and shit. Like I'm going to come up with something, right? One thing about active addiction, boy, you going to figure it out. I can tell you that. And I did. I would figure it out. I would figure out a way, somehow, some way. And kind of to break off the subject, man, if you can use that same mentality in your recovery, there ain't no limits to what you can do. If you can chase your goals like you chase that dope, man, there is no limit to what you can do. You just got to convert that energy. You know, it's possible. It's possible. I'm at that point right now in my life. I'm chasing my goals like I chased the dope. I'm chasing my recovery like I chased the high. You know, that's a good quote. I like that quote. But yeah, the ladders, the cold sweats. What's some other stuff I remember? I remember degrading myself to get this drug, which is something that I do not do. I never degrade myself for anybody. I got a lot of pride in myself, you know, or a lot of whatever, man. Like, I'm not the type of dude that's going to degrade myself. And what I mean by degrading myself is begging a motherfucker for a front or something because I need this shit. Like begging somebody for something or hitting a family member up for some money or like degrading yourself, shit that you would never do. Like not being on drugs, like shit that I would just never do that. That's something I would never do. But I did it, man. That drug, it had a hold of my throat. And I got to the point where I would do shit like that. Going to the clinic and donating blood and plasma, picking fucking cigarette butts off the ground and smoking them. Just doing degradeful shit. I remember all that. And it just, you know, anybody out there going through active addiction, my heart goes out to you. Just know that you ain't alone. Just know that recovery is possible, and I'm proving that to you every single day because I just told you what I came from. I was gone. I was a too far gone case, and I came back from it, and you can too. Just know that, like, it's never over. Like, there's ways out of this shit. If you're going through addiction, if you're watching this video right now and you're where I was, because I did the same thing. I would watch videos wondering to myself, how the fuck did this person get out of this? And I got out of it, you know, and I knew that one day I was going to be doing what I'm doing right now with this content, motivating people. I knew that. I just didn't know how. I didn't know how I was going to get there. But guess what? I got here, and you can too. Don't you ever give up because it's possible to get out of that mess. And that's just what it is, guys. I wanted to give y'all a short little video. I think, what are we at, 7 minutes now? And I just wanted to get on here and preach a little bit of recovery. Recovery is possible. And one more thing, Scar Nation, stand up. Let's go.